everyone, today we're going to talk about force feedback settings in WRC 8 for the Logitech G29 wheel. So we go into the controls here and look at my setup. This is a game that's pretty bad out of the box, so it does need some tweaking, and we're just going to go over quickly my settings and briefly describe what they do. The only change I've done on this screen is my steering. I've put sensitivity to -1. That gets rid of a lot of the twitchiness there is when you're on the straights. And the saturation, I go between 175 depending on what happens when I plug my wheel in. It depends on where I set my max range in the Logitech control panel, which we'll look at right now. Why do I have to do that? Well, because this max wheel angle, this is always grayed out for me, so I can't adjust it in game. So what I do is I put it at 540 in the Logitech control panel, and then I launch the game, and this is still grayed out. And sometimes when I get on track, my saturation will be 100, sometimes it will be 75. I don't know what's going on, but the saturation at 75 I put on when I think that the game doesn't recognize my 540 and it's still putting it at 900. So if not, you can just leave it at 900 and put saturation at 75 or maybe 65 or 70. That might work well for you too. So overall force, I've left that at 100. This controls all of the forces that are below this. Self-aligning torque, this is the most important force in any game. It's very well done in WRC 8. I've turned it up to 125 to get as much detail as I can. Anything beyond this, the wheel becomes a little bit too heavy for me, but this is kind of a personal preference, so feel free to go a little bit higher, a little bit lower than this if you want. Tire load, this is the force on the wheel that you get when the tires are loading up and getting close to the limit of grip. This is similar to self-aligning torque, but the forces that it portrays is a little bit different. I've turned this down to 80 because when I left it at 100, it's getting a little bit of clipping, and we don't want clipping. Now self-center, this is a biggie. This one, when it's at default 100, is absolutely terrible. It's like this artificial force that resists everything you do in the wheel. So I've turned this down to 45. I don't like this artificial resistance at all. Some people do it at 0, some people do it at 10. So play around with it, see what you think. I suggest leaving this at 50 or below. Recenter force, this is when you go off track. I've got that at 0. That really doesn't matter. Now on the vibration, I've also left the global at 100. Tire slip, this one I had to turn way down because this makes the wheel vibrate while you're drifting. And it is some really nasty vibration in the G29 that can cause damage to the wheels. So 30 is a nice level. You get a little bit of subtle vibration for immersion, but nothing major that you have to worry about breaking your hardware. And suspension turned down a little bit. Ground surface I turned way up because there is a little bit of ground surface missing in this game. It's just a bunch of canned vibrations anyway, so pretty much this whole vibration thing here is pretty much whichever the way you want to do it. So there you go. That's my quick guide to G29 setup in WRC 8. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Bye bye.